Noreen and welcome to my kitchen. The other day, my friend, TheMrsVolfie, Bev, she's just awesome. She made a video where she made a marble cake. And it didn't turn out so good. And her husband gave it a thumbs down. It was kind of like a universal thumbs down because he didn't actually do it on the camera. But then she saved the day, the next day, by turning it into a sweet bread and butter pudding. So I thought it might be fun to go ahead and make a marble cake, not to show Bev up, but just to show you how I make a marble cake, since, you know, we're kind of on this path together and it's always fun to see how someone else makes something. So I will link Bev's video below if you haven't had a chance to watch her marble cake video. And you know what, we all make mistakes. Things don't always turn out great, and sometimes it's fun to share our failures too, because we all have them. And when I fail or when she fails, it just gives you the confidence to say, you know what, it's just food. And if we fail, we can maybe make it into something even better. But sometimes it just ends up in the garbage. And as much as I hate to do that, you know,
you just have to go Bob Ross.
That's it.
There are no mistakes.
There are no mistakes. Everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Just happy accidents.
Just happy accidents. Okay, so let's make this marble cake. I'll go through the ingredients before we start. I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, and of course this is King Arthur flour. I prefer King Arthur flour, and that's just my own preference. If you have a flour that you prefer, then go right ahead and use it. So this is 3 cups of flour. We're going to use 1½ sticks of butter, so that's 3/4 of a cup of butter. 4 eggs, 2 cups of sugar, 1/2 cup of good quality cocoa powder. You can use regular or Dutch processed cocoa. Teaspoon of salt. This is the half a stick of butter from over here. That's what that is, only it's melted. We're going to use 4 teaspoons of good quality baking powder, a teaspoon of espresso powder, a cup of milk. I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of vanilla paste and a teaspoon of almond extract, and then we're going to sprinkle the whole thing off with some coarse crystal sugar. So to get started, of course, we're going to have to cream our butter and our sugar. So let's put that in the bowl. And I put this butter out last night on my counter, and it's room temperature, but it's not soft. It's room temperature though. It's not very warm here, and we're actually expecting snow for the first time this year in my area. It's probably not going to amount to anything, but it will be pleasant nonetheless for us. And I'm sure that I have lots of people who are watching going, I've had snow for, you know, feels like I've had snow for 6 months.
4 feet of snow here.
Right. All right, so let's get this going. And the squeaking is because of my scraper blade, so I'm going to add the sugar in. Let's just cream that for a moment until it's light and fluffy. You'll know when it's done because it turns into like a yellow paste. There it goes. We're going to turn it down, and we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. There goes one. Turn that up just one more. There we go. There's 2 eggs. Until this egg is well incorporated, and then we're going to turn this on a higher speed, and we're beat it for 5 minutes until it is light, pale, and smooth. So I'm not going to make you watch that on camera. I'm going to turn this up, and then we're going to go away, and we're going to wait 5 minutes on the timer, and then when we come back, we'll move forward. All right, our 5 minutes is up. And now it's beautiful. It's light and fluffy. And I'll show you. I'm just going to pull this off here real quick. You see the consistency of this batter? And this is just butter, sugar, and eggs and nothing else. It's gorgeous and silky and smooth. And this is one of the secrets to making a good cake. And then you always have to follow this next rule, is where you're going to alternate some of the dry ingredient, which is the flour and the milk. So I'm going to pull this over here. I'm going to turn it on just low. And the next thing we're going to throw in there is our salt. That's a teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and put our almond extract. And that's completely optional. If you don't like almond, then don't put it in there. Use something else, or don't use it at all. Just add more, add 3 teaspoons of vanilla if you want to. Oh, that smells yummy already. I like this vanilla paste. I really feel lucky to have been able to find it. Okay, now the next thing is, I'm going to add my baking powder right to this mix, okay? I think it's always better to add the baking powder to the liquid mass rather than the dry mass, because it dissolves in here and then it distributes more evenly. That's just my own opinion. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do, and I'm just going to use this as a scoop, is I'm going to scoop some flour in here. And let that flour incorporate, and then turn it up a bit. Then we're going to add some milk. And let that blend in well until you don't see any lumps, and it looks like a cohesive batter. I'm going to turn it down again. And I'm going to add more flour. Let it blend. Not will it blend, because it will, but let it blend. Right. Then we're going to add about another 1/4 cup of milk. And wait until you see that it is blended all together. Then go in with some more flour. I'm going to add a little more flour in here. And some more milk. That's the end of our milk. Then we're going to finish off with the rest of this flour. And the more you get in the bowl, the quicker it blends in there. Thank you for telling me I don't sound snooty when I say that. Okay. All right, that's perfect. Now, I'm going to move over here, and I'm going to do one step before we take that off of the mixer. You want to come around this way, sweetheart, because I want to show them what I'm going to do next. I want to make our chocolate so that when we get ready to make the chocolate portion of the marble cake, it'll be ready. I've got a 1/2 cup of good quality cocoa here, a teaspoon of espresso powder, which you can totally leave out if you don't have it. You can use instant coffee if you have it. If you have some cold coffee from this morning, then you can actually add, I would say, 2 tablespoons or so. And this is that half a stick of butter. Excuse me, honey, I need a spoon.
Oh, she'd eat just eggshells.
I
wonder if he would eat
don't know.
eggshells.
And I'm just going to mix this up together. You pretty much just made chocolate. And now I'm going to come over here. I'm just going to take this off of the stand. And I have some chocolate that little Bob Ross action. When I say that, if you don't know what I mean, is that when Bob Ross if you don't know who Bob Ross is, you're going to be totally lost, but when he would clean his brushes, he would always beat them inside of a bucket next to his easel, and that's what it always reminds me of when I do that with my beater. Okay, so here is the measuring cup I use for the milk. And what I'm going to do is, let's see, I need about 1 3/4 cups of this batter. That's about 1 cup. We're going to put that over here. And 3/4 cup. That looks about right. And I'm probably going to have to go get a whisk. Well, honey, what's the verdict?
It's like butter, sugar, and eggs.
And flour. It tastes like cake.
With almonds. Yeah.
I'm surprised he hasn't said it yet.
Sugar bowl?
Yeah, that.
It's not gone out the side yet.
Yes, I'm getting my hands in here because sometimes you cannot avoid that. Now I'm going to use my whisk. I'm going to grab another spatula, just because this whisk isn't doing it for me. So, and who knows, my marble cake may go the way of Bev's. I just
Pudding?
I don't know. See,
Can you say that's what she turned it into?
she turned it into a bread pudding, and it looked beautiful when she finished, and she said it was really good and how he enjoyed it. So that's really all that matters in the end. Sometimes you have to be resourceful. That's all. You turn a failure into a success. All right, now we're just gonna go ahead and set this aside for now. I have prepared, this is a tea loaf pan, and it's 12 inches by 4 inches at the bottom in measure. We're going to go ahead, we're going to put some of our batter in the bottom. And then we're going to go ahead in with our chocolate. Don't smoosh it around too much, because then you just end up with light chocolate cake. Like, and we're gonna come in with this batter. Oh. You don't have to be perfect, so. In fact, it's best if you just admit it that you're not perfect.
And leave it alone.
Because in the end, you'll probably be happier. Okay. All right. Now, let me rinse my hands real quick. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I'm going to get a skewer out of the drawer. And I'm just going to kind of start to swirl. Don't mix it, just swirl it. And just when you think you want to do it some more, stop.
Mm-hmm.
Flick off your skewer and throw it away. And then, don't spill your crystal sugar all over the counter. It's not going to matter anyway. Liberally sprinkle the top of your cake. And then extract it from your clean countertop. Just like that. Oven is preheated, as I said, to 350 degrees. We're going to pop this in there. This is going to bake for a total of 1 hour and 15 minutes. At the 1 hour mark, I want you to get a piece of aluminum foil and put it on top of the cake and then bake it for the remaining 15 minutes. When it's time to do that, I'll come back and show you what it looks like. All right. Our hour has passed, and this is what it looks like so far. Not too bad. I'm going to grab a skewer and give it a poke. We're just about there. That's just about where you want it. You see there's still some residue coming up on that skewer, but you want it to be clean. So we're gonna tent this with your asbestos fingers and just put it back in the oven for another 15 or 20 minutes. When it's ready to come out, I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Okay. Our timer went off, and let's just pull this out of the oven here without having it slide off the stove. That would be great. I think it looks beautiful. It smells wonderful, and we're going to go ahead and poke this one more time with the skewer. Perfect. Got a couple little pieces of crumbs sticking there, but I see no moisture. You can see there's it's not smeary, so you'll know that it's ready. You're going to want to let this sit for 10 minutes in the pan, and then we're going to move it to a cooling rack. Thank you, honey. It just totally escaped me. See, I have to keep them around because we always say we're each other's other half of each other's brain, because we always know what the other one is thinking, and we've often finished each other's sentences for as long as we've known each other. Even when we first met, we did. So that's how we knew we were meant to be. But in any case, we're going to let this cool for about 10 minutes in the pan, and then we're going to come back and remove it and let it finish cooling, and then we'll go ahead and cut it. So we'll be back. Pam, see, I probably didn't spray it enough. So that's my problem. Anyway, you see, we all make mistakes. See? We're stuck inside the pan. Let's see. I guess my little spatula is in the dishwasher. So, what you can do is you can just take this and rest it underneath and then say, I meant to do that. Okay? Now, normally in the regular world, you would just go ahead and allow this to cool all the way before you slice it. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to grab a serrated knife here. What are we doing? Okay. And let's just slice it here. Let's see what it looks like on the inside. Look at that. Marble cake. Oh, it's pretty, isn't it? And it's hot. So this is marble cake, and you just want to let this cool. I'm going to put it on a different pan and get this foil out of the way. Marble cake. Beautiful. You want to taste it?
Sure.
It's hot. It's yummy.
Really good.
Very good. Mara, you want a bite? Well, come on over here. It's okay. She's got Sammy.
Well, Sammy wants a bite too.
Sammy can have a bite. It has cocoa in it, not chocolate. So you're safe giving it to your dog. Sammy, you want to taste? She loves her mommy. Marble cake, really easy.
Daddy.
Huh?
And her daddy.
And her daddy. But her daddy didn't give her the cake. This time. So, it does take a little effort, a little planning, but that cake is delicious and it's simple. And even if you mess it up, you can turn it into a bread and butter pudding just like Bev did. So, I hope you try it. I hope you love it. Thanks for stopping by my kitchen today. Till next time, I'll see ya.